Freefly Movie Show here in the Teradek booth. This is NAB 2014 Live. I'm Michael Artsis. I'm going to go to a clip in just a second here, but I want to tell you who's sitting here because we have some very special guests. It's Tab, obviously from Freefly, and he's the Freefly movie creator, and of course Garrett Brown, the inventor of the Steadicam. I got it today. I've got my act together, and I apologize again. The other day we had a little stumble and trip up, but I was expecting a different guest, and you showed up, and I'm thrilled to have had you. But you know,
it was fun.
It was great. So I'm glad to have you here. Again, I'm honored. I can't wait to get into this conversation about camera movement, but let's show a clip real quick, and we'll jump right into it. How's that sound, guys?
Sure, just to set it up. What's also cool, McConkey testing kind of a hybrid between Movi and Steadicam.
That's pretty awesome. That looks like a really great rig.
And harassing his dog.
It doesn't always start with something like that. Like it's always the dog or the wife, or you know, when you're testing it, it's the same test subject. Maybe the kids and the car.
And it's always snowing.
Yeah, it's always in a muddy parking lot.
And the car. The car's always part of it. It's always got to be. Look at that footage.
Oh, I love this. This is great. We were just saying that Larry is a wonderful collaborator because he's uncompromising, he's terribly bright, he's technical, and he's enthusiastic, and that's the great elixir for all this stuff. And we were just
incredible enthusiasm.
In '84, Larry and I worked up the first Skycam.
Really?
In 1984, yeah. I just showed Tab some footage of it. Amazing.
That's unbelievable.
When we launched this thing last year, I saw Larry's order come through for a Movi, and I was absolutely the most excited to see his name in the order list because I knew, you know, once he could get his hands on the thing and understand what to do with it, he would just create amazing things with it, and he's given us a lot of feedback too.
I think what's great is seeing the Movi and the Steadicam together.
Yeah.
You know, I think when it was first announced last year, the buzz was, this is the Steadicam killer, and I think the first thing you said to me, Tab, is, I don't want this to be a Steadicam killer. Steadicam is amazing, and it has its place, and so does this. They can be different, independent. I never imagined them working together, but when I see this, it's tremendous, it's beautiful, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I think it was unfortunate that spin kind of happened last year, because the thing that we were excited about is when you think about camera movement, you think, who knows how to move a camera better than Steadicam operators? So I was, you know, they're among the people who I was most excited to see what they would say about the Movi and give it a try, because these are the most skilled camera movement guys in the world. They've been honing their craft for 25 plus years, and they're experts at it. So we were really excited to see what they would do with it. It's
really funny too, because in the beginning, and I'm talking 1974, I thought it was a stabilizer. I even wanted to call it the Brown stabilizer, you know, which thank God that didn't fly. And
it's all black.
And I think over the years we realized it's an instrument, and what we really do is move an object elegantly, and the best stabilizer to come along is the movie, you know, that's what excites me, you know, the combination of the very best stabilizer and a way of effortlessly and kind of smoothly moving that relieves the arms of the movie operator, you know. So the combo is pretty devastating, pretty great. You know.
I just think it's so amazing how creative you can be with it and how natural the movements together you can make them. It really, you know, allows you to be, you know, as a viewer, it just makes movement so natural, you don't think about it. Where years ago, before Steadicam, or before Steadicam became popular, movement was so jarring and it was so different and it was so limiting. You think of even chase scenes like The French Connection or Bullet, right? Think about what they do now with the stabilizations they can do and the running scenes in movies, even the walking scenes with a Steadicam, what you can do. You know, it's unbelievable. And it's amazing. I love these two products together. When you
and also separately, the idea that you can take it and do what it does beautifully, and then if you have a 10-minute long elegiac shot, you stick it on the Steadicam and make moves that are terribly smooth that would actually wear you out if you had to do that, or if you're running on the field of an Olympics and keeping up with a guy running. You know, those are jobs you probably aren't signing up for personally.
Yeah, you know. Absolutely not.
But it's a little easier if you can fly with the arm and the vest and all of that stuff. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think from a technical standpoint, the synthesis of the two is interesting because the Steadicam controls the position of the camera, the translation of the camera so beautifully, and that's we don't do well with that. I mean, we're completely dependent on human arms or whatever you're attached.
You do all right, but I mean, it depends exactly on the dancing ability of the guy and his endurance, you know.
Yeah, so I noticed, like, if I'm operating handheld, the first shots I do in the morning are really, I can control the position of the camera really well, and then as you fatigue and go on through the day and you know, get stuck holding the thing for hours and hours and hours, you're just relying on your muscles to do that, and the stability of the positional accuracy of the shot starts to degrade. Whereas if you have it mounted to a Steadicam arm and sled, you know, it's locked off the whole, it's going to completely control the position of the camera and create just this virtual dolly.
I think we're going to see movie operators who look like high-lie players after a few years. They're going to have that.
What about the most challenging shot you've ever created for you, like with a Steadicam? What's the most challenging shot you've ever created?
Well, you know, they vary. I mean, I've done really complicated choreographies, and in some cases, remembering the damn thing is the hardest part of it, right? But I did a 3 flights climbing up the stairs with a 40-pound Steadicam BL in The Shining, you know, slowly preceding Shelley Duvall up the stairs, and we did it, of course, 35 times in a day. Oh. Well, you know, first of all, those payloads are out of reach for, you know, any handheld kind of thing. Yeah. But secondly, wearing it like that, it actually was fine, because you did a 3-minute take and a 3-minute playback and a 3-minute argument about where the you know, the crosshairs were. But that's not the movie territory, you know, not for an obsessive multi-take personality. It's for beautiful improvised or carried stuff, you know. I'm so excited about it. I love the fact that it exists, you know.
Yeah, I have a kind of a funny anecdote. So about 7 or 8 years ago, I emailed Garrett out of the blue. Back then I was just a helicopter operator with some crazy ideas on how to improve camera stability. And he was gracious enough to write me back a very thoughtful and an interesting response with some helpful tips. And so it's really, it's cool for me to end up you know, having a dialogue with him here and have it come to this point where we're discussing camera stability, because back then it was just a dream for me to be able to shoot smooth footage from a helicopter, and to actually be able to do it now is really, really rewarding.
It's really cool, because I mean, Steadicam has really revolutionized and changed the industry and the way we shoot movies and we make projects and we create.
So will this.
Exactly. Yeah. And you know, that's what I was going to say, but what is really nice is that you responded to him and you kind of helped him along there, and now you guys are, I mean, your products can work together.
You know, part of the dream is how evolutionary this business is. I was in NABs, you know, 30, 40 years ago, whatever it is, when it was a very staid, you know, with a few given companies and all film and so on. And look at what's happening now. It's exploding, you know. And so part of the dream is that people come on with new stuff, and the business changes and it evolves, you know. It swings through 3Ds and DSLRs, and I just find that terribly exciting, you know. Well, we're hanging on by our thumbs here, but
you've also you know, you're an inventor and have developed all kinds of systems to move the camera around. So it makes sense that you're, you know, interested in what we do just from that standpoint, you know.
I'm a moving camera junkie, and so when it's done well, I love it. I love it. Somebody, I know, it was Vincent LaFerre, sent me a marvelous sequence from True Detective, which I had only seen a piece of, and he showed me a Vimeo clip, and you know, it just, the construction of it, the design, what operating does so well, which is gets under your skin and gives you an emotional jolt. If you operate well with your deal or ours or both, you do something for the result that's as important as lighting or music or art direction or whatever. Operating is a direct emotional connection.
It absolutely does. I mean, it's funny, when I watch with my wife, I'll point out Steadicam shots or movie shots that she's just blown away by that shot was done by a person, that there was somebody who did it. She thinks that there's a track system, and I'm like, yeah, but it's impossible to have a track in that situation. It's definitely a Steadicam, and it creates an emotional response, which is what we want to do with every piece of video. It's all about storytelling, and visuals is the first and biggest part of the storytelling process. I think what's most amazing is both of you guys, with both of the products, have figured out a way to stabilize even DSLRs, which with the rolling shutter and the anti-aliasing seems near impossible. And you know, if you take a DSLR and handhold it for a second and walk with somebody, you get this crazy, it's like a Jurassic Park rumble. That's what I call it. I'm like, it's the Jurassic, here's the dinosaur coming.
Well, I think that points to an interesting thing about camera movement in general. I think when we all start out as filmmakers, you have this idea in your mind, I'm going to pick up this camera and I'm going to fly through the space and it's going to be beautiful and smooth and flowing just like I envision it. And then you go try it and you look at the results and you go, wow, that's not going to work. Then you start diving into camera stabilization technologies, and people really want to be able to move the camera in the way that they envision, and I think both our products help along that quest, because it's so difficult to do. And
it has to be said that we have, in effect, a Steadicam or a movie in our heads. If you're running next to a train, you can read a 3x5 card. You know, we're not conscious that we move up and down when we walk or side to side, because the brain's uninterested in that, it just filters it out. So this computer is post-processing, in effect, what we see, and we see Steadicam shots. And so my ancient beef with handheld is that's arbitrary. We don't see that way. You know?
I noticed that last year. It's so true. It's so funny though. This guy came out with these glasses that had a camera right here. So he gives me a pair. We do a couple of shots, and I put it on. You know, we put it on the show last year, and I noticed that. To me, talking, I'm stable, right? I'm having a stable conversation, and this is what the video looked like. Bop, 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 bop. Apparently, I was moving my head the whole time when I was listening in the conversation, and I didn't even realize, because you said my eyes are post-processing the image I'm seeing.
Yep. I don't know why it took me years to actually even process that idea. I could have used that for the original pitch to the Steadicam. You know, we were always pitching against handheld. You know. Which we detest, despise, and do not respect.
Well, what's amazing is you transform television with the Steadicam too. I mean, all these cop dramas that are on television now, all the CSIs, all the Law and Orders, all that stuff, all that jarring footage that everybody got so excited about that created drama and felt like you were being brought into the action, that was all Steadicam. All the stuff on the NFL sidelines that bring you into the action. You see a guy in a baseball game running across the field with a Steadicam now. When a guy hits a home run and you get this great shot, if you know to look for it, you see it, and then you get this great shot of the guy trotting in to home plate, and you do that now with the Movi and with the Steadicam. It's just, what you guys are doing is tremendous, and then it's filtering down to the small stuff. You've got the smoothie out, which works amazing with the iPhone. We had that on set yesterday, and you've built this rig for the Movi to put the iPhone on, which is unbelievable. You know, it's a toy, we're playing with it, but even to be able to stabilize that video is just tremendous.
Yeah, and implicit in all that is humans move all the time. When I got in the business, if you wanted to move the camera, it was dolly, crane, or camera car. That's it, end of story. And yet, we have this tremendous urge to follow a story, to plunge into it, either as a storyteller's director's eye view or as a point of view from some creature, very different shots. But we have a tremendous urge to, as you say, follow that runner on the field, to be there in the way that your surrogate would be running, or in the way that some godlike point of view would see a story, you know. Very, very interesting to me still, you know.
So I've got a new proposal. The Movi is not a Steadicam killer. We already know that. It's going to work well with the Steadicam. Steadicam's a tremendous product by itself. Movi's a tremendous product by itself. Beautiful and perfect harmony. Yeah. But maybe we use dollies less.
Maybe what?
We use dollies less.
Well, the only trouble, and I would say with a dolly, is that you can't, you need that smooth floor, you know. If the dolly's stabilized, as it does if there's one of our guys aboard, it's a more useful gadget, you know. But the classic dolly, rail laying, wedging up a piece of rail was one of the skills I looked at when I first got in the business, and it's a brilliant skill, but it is not visceral, not fast, not able to see on its own tracks.
Right. Can't be set up quickly.
More importantly, I've had Steadicam guys trying to kill me for the last year, so let's not turn the dolly guys loose on me for the next year, Michael.
Scratch what I said from the record. Scratch it.
It wasn't me. I always loved the dolly. I love the dolly.
I'm a big fan of dollies. I think they're great.
It was me. Blame me.
No,
I'm
you
the
know
bad
what?
guy.
It's going to be the French New Age guys with the cameras taped to their heads who come and kill us both.
Wait, does Vitek make any dollies? Let's make sure Vitek doesn't make any dollies first. I don't think they do.
I think they make it all. So.
They make just about everything, though, right?
Yeah.
They just
they don't
sold
make
the dolly
any
company after that comment you had.
Well,
nice,
hey,
nice
they
job.
sold it exactly at the right spot.
They probably make explosives and hand weapons.
Probably wired to my car right now.
I'm trying to be well behaved.
Well, the other thing to say is you're in for a great ride. This is riding the whirlwind, and there are few human beings in this business that get to do it, and you guys, I'm sure, are already, at 40,000 feet with this, and it's good. It's really good. I love it.
It's been a fun year to have this crazy idea, have it actually...
You have a faintly glazed look in your eye, but
that's just sleep deprivation.
He's in awe. Like, I'm in awe of both of you. He's in awe of you.
No.
Yes,
no,
it's true.
No, we don't allow that.
What you guys have created is pure genius, and nobody else could have created it. It's unbelievable. People can copy it, and they do, and that's unfortunate. And it's neither product has ever been copied well.
Wait a second, do I smell smoke?
Yeah.
But there is nobody who could have dreamed up and created what you guys have done, and it's remarkable. You both have changed the industry, changed the way we make films, changed the way we watch films, changed what we expect. You couldn't put a cop show on television now and not use a Steadicam. You couldn't do it.
But Michael,
if you did it, people they would not watch it. They'd be disappointed.
It has to be said, though, that this stuff happens when, in effect, the universe is ready. You know.
True.
My thing happened when it was possible, and when I was 3,000 miles from Hollywood and didn't know any better, and this happened when it became possible, and so I wouldn't say nobody else could do it. I would say we were the person on point right then, when the moment arrived, and had whatever it took to do it.
You had the fortitude, the desire, the passion.
Fortitude is part of it. A lot of it.
And the passion which you mentioned before.
Our slogan was
important.
and is never give up.
I love it. I have a 10-month-old son. I tell him every day, keep those legs moving. Don't ever stop those legs.
Sounds funny. That's just what I tell myself.
Yeah, I think to his point, it took a confluence of the right team at the right time and the right technology available to do what we did. So
you guys are so humble.
Same here.
It's
Same
nice.
here.
But I know that's true, but you're also humble.
For me, it was Ed DiGiulio and his boys, and the engineers. And back when I could not say with conviction, number 10 machine screw, and I've learned all that now. But back then, I was a tyro.
Yeah.
Have you seen the little go-karts he puts together with the movies?
Yeah, I love it.
It's insane, isn't it?
It's all from laziness. We just want to figure out other things to move the camera that we don't have to carry.
How fast can that go-kart get up to?
The little RC car can probably go 50 or 60, but you have to have a good driver.
But you can literally do several scenes of a chase scene with that car. I mean, that also changes the way we do chase scenes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm waiting for, I'm curious to see who will destroy one first in the midst of a crazy action chase scene.
Your motorcycle, has that worked on something yet?
We've shot a few pieces with it, but it hasn't been out. We haven't really turned it loose to see what people will do with it.
I want to see that.
Yeah, it's really fun. We got 2 of them into the shop, and I broke mine the first day, so.
That's cool, very cool.
Have you gone to visit his shop yet?
I haven't been there. I've heard about it. Larry went there. Larry McConkey was there for, am I right, a couple of days?
Yeah, Larry showed, I got a call from Larry. He said, I'm going to swing by and pick up my Movi, and I said, okay. And he showed up and said, I can only be here for the afternoon. And I said, oh, that's too bad. And Larry set up a workstation in our shop and didn't leave for 3 or 4 days.
Wow, that's amazing. I would love to see you guys get in a room together and start showing each other, oh, this, that, and tinkering.
I'd like to see your place. I got to get up there.
I'd love to have you up.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
You should come to Philly and see my little lab, the Reliquary.
Would love to.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
Can I shoot both of those encounters? Would that be possible?
No. No way.
Yeah.
So when you see people holding, either of you guys holding an iPhone like this and shooting, and you see their hand shaking, does it just drive you nuts?
I swat it out of their hand.
I see things like that as opportunities. I have a little gadget in my pocket actually that takes care of that problem, but I'm probably not allowed to show it. But right in here is something that takes care of that.
And we don't get a preview more than that.
No, sorry, no. And I have another one that's even smaller. What is it? Oh, damn it. Shit.
Gone.
Gone. Sorry, stupid joke. Nobody has any sleep here, so.
Is there anything at NAB that you guys have seen that you just thought blew your mind or was amazing that, you know, isn't something from you guys?
The focus thing, have you seen that?
That's what I was going to say too. I want to go check that out.
I love that.
The
it's like Andra
Have they been here, those guys?
Yeah, they're right over there, a couple booths away, and they literally have a magnet or something.
Yeah.
On fabulous.
Andra, yeah. And
really cool.
I think of all the dramas in our focus pulling history, that could have helped. Fabulous.
Yeah.
And also being able to, you know, run with these big chips and wide open.
Yeah.
At these frightening ASAs, you know, and be able to be able to nail it.
How many times have you done a movement that you loved and were in love with, and then only to find out the focus was no good?
Yeah. 30 takes, one sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
You're obviously an amazing cinematographer, but are you like a proud dad when you see things created that are stunning with the Steadicam?
Oh yeah. I love the shots. I'm not a great cinematographer. I never was a good lighter, but I'm a good operator, and I just stuck with what I like to do, and I love to see well operated shots, and fortunately they're everywhere, you know, in all of our realms, you know. I love that. You know.
Yeah, there's nothing more rewarding than to see people excel and do amazing things with a tool that you helped create. I mean,
part of it is the shots are made by somebody who's really thinking about it, not just lurching through it. Somebody that has a distinct, absolute intent for what the result will be. Because if you don't want it with any of these things, it's purely accidental. But if you really want a given result, you can find your way to it. And the results that are strongly desired, I think I could say are the ones that are really worth watching in some ways, you know?
Yeah.
They have a completeness and a power, you know, that's really, really good.
What do you think is the most challenging shot to do with either of your guys' rigs?
I think for us, I think just doing any shot well is challenging.
I'd have to say that. Yeah. I mean, I don't think I've ever done a perfect one in my whole career.
Really?
You know? No. Nor has anybody ever played a perfect violin solo.
I mean, that's true.
Know?
Okay.
The thing I'll say also is that as you improve camera stability more and more and more, then the only thing left to look at is your terrible framing. So.
Is your what?
Your terrible framing.
Well, and it is, I mean, look, it is true that the expectation, you keep raising the bar higher and higher.
Yeah.
And the smoother you get. I would think on a boat, though, using a Steadicam or a Movi on a boat would be like on the deck of a boat, and I'm not talking a yacht, but like a boat.
Actually, ridiculously easy.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Unless you're, you know, in survival storm or something. No, easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Wow.
The only thing you want to be sure of is that you have a rope attached to the harness.
Yeah.
You know, so that that you have a quick release, so you're not a pinwheel if you do fall in.
Yeah.
Right.
In the early days, the first time I shot on a boat was with a Steadicam that had an 18,000 volt World War II TV aboard. In effect, you know, it had a high intensity television monitor, and I'm on a boat in the 12-foot waves, thinking to myself, you know, I probably should have a quick release. Because if you fell in, you would be the first candidate for the Darwin Awards. You know, the idiot that fell in wearing a high voltage rig and something that was heavy. You know?
You guys have a new cool product you're showing off in your booth too. That it's the Segway kind of thing with the Steadicam rig attached to it.
That's actually a few years old, but it's a marvelous combination. And we have one called the Tango, which I'm very eager to get your gear on the end of, because it literally is floor to ceiling and very graceful. Yeah. And the Tango with your thing on the, sorry, I don't mean your thing, because that you know what I mean.
Yeah.
With the movie on the Segway, this sounds like a game of Clue.
It was Colonel Mustard in
with
the kitchen.
Iron pipe, yeah.
So
it would be the most complex camera movement tool ever created.
it's
only Larry and 3 other people could effectively operate it.
And it literally.
But once you had all that, even in an earthquake,
it would look great.
And how long does it take to set everything? I mean, he was rigged, Larry was rigged out like crazy. I saw the Teradek devices on there.
2 monitors.
Yeah, how long does it take?
He's fast. Larry is really
fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's good. I mean, part of it is just knowing what you're doing. It's like saying, how long does it take to tune a guitar?
Sure.
If you know what you're doing, 8 seconds.
It's like a soldier, eyes closed, could take apart and put his gun back together.
I mean, again, that's also a process of intention. If you know what result you want, you slam the components on and you're there.
Yeah.
Not that an amateur wouldn't take a long time, but you know.
How long does it take, or what do you need to rig them together? I mean, he had this crazy rig, Larry, going, but do you need all that, or can you literally take the Movi and put it right to the Steadicam vest?
I could picture an instant mechanical interface, and in fact that you could take it on and off very easily. You know? And I love the idea of that and on for a while and off and through a window, and you know. And the amazing thing is that we had nothing to hand off in the old Steadicam days that would be smooth, you know. We have the opportunity to combine long, arduous, beautiful, slow moves with a piece of very dynamic theater just by grabbing it, you know, and making sure the arm didn't take your, you know, fillings off in there.
Yeah, we've got a new quick release that we launched this year that's works really nicely with Steadicam, so you can have it on Steadicam if you want to pop it off and put handles on it for a shot to pass through a window or something like that. It works well.
Is that the Toad and the...
Toad in the Hole.
The Toad in the Hole.
Yep.
I love the name, and I watched the demonstration yesterday. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Toad in the Hole.
I love that. I hadn't heard that.
Well, we've got this, the engineer Phil that did it, he, in our network drive at Freefly, people name projects that are in development really funny names. It's like a contest to see who can come up with the most ridiculous names. And so, and it flashes on everyone's screen when the new file's created. And one day I was like writing some emails and I saw a little thing saying Toad the Hole, and I'm like, oh Phil, what have you come up with now, you know?
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much both for being here, for joining us. I'm honored, I'm privileged, and humbled, and also I'm in awe of both of you. You guys have made the world better for consumers who are consuming the content, and also filmmakers who are creating it, and you've made it easier, better, and more beautiful. I can't thank you enough. You've changed the world, both of you guys. So
thanks a lot. I want to just say thanks to Garrett for agreeing to come on here. It was great.
Oh, no, it was great. Thank you for having me.
Thanks
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too.
Great fun. Can't wait to see what happens next.
Thank you. Yeah, I can't either. I'm so excited about it. I'm glad you guys are passionate. I'm passionate, and I got to say, time is the most precious resource we have, and time is the best gift you can give anybody. So thank you both for your time. Thank you guys for your time. This is the Freefly Movi Show in the Teradek booth at NAB 2014. I'm Michael Artsis. We got a whole lot more content for you, a whole lot of great stuff coming up. So keep it locked here, and if you want to win that clip, go to planet5d.com/NAB. Don't forget beterrific.com, and you're watching on Ustream, planet5d.com, and beterrific.com. I'm Michael Artsis. We'll see you soon. Be terrific. Keep it locked here for the next show coming up right now.